What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the bilingual stock market channel again. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and about the bloodbath that happened once again today in the markets. And today we had yet again another massive bloodbath in the market, other than the 10-year Treasury yield, guys, and the VIX. But other than those two indicators, everything else went down today. Russell 2000 goes down 1.92%, the Nasdaq goes down 2.04%, the Dow broke even, and the S&P 500 went down 0.74%. Crude oil goes down today 6.59%. Gold goes down 1.55%. Silver went down 3.50%. So a bloodbath across the board, guys. The 10-year Treasury yield went up today 6.79%. That kind of helped the financial sector, which ended up being the only sector that closed today's trading session in the green, and the VIX went up today 3%. So what happened over here, guys? Why did we have today another massive bloodbath in the markets? First of all, we didn't have any good news, concrete news about Russia and Ukraine throughout the weekend. And on top of that, we had bad news about COVID-19 coming from China, because apparently there is a resurgence in cases of COVID-19 in China. And you guys know that the Chinese have a zero tolerance when it comes to COVID-19. So they are once again locking down some cities and some areas in China. That's the main reason why crude oil went down today almost 7%. And obviously, as a consequence of this resurgence of COVID-19 cases in China, all of the Chinese stocks got absolutely killed today. The Babas of the world, the NEOs of the world, the JD.coms of the world, and so forth. Massive pain across the board when it comes to Chinese stocks. And as of now, guys, we are at maximum fear and uncertainty in the markets. We didn't have any good news for the markets rally today. And keep in mind that next Wednesday, we are going to have the Federal Open Market Committee. Finally, we are going to begin a new cycle of interest rate hikes. And usually, from a historical standpoint, once the Fed begins a new cycle of interest rate hikes, the markets rally. The markets have a positive behavior. However, now we have on the table the situation in Ukraine. And keep in mind that what the markets are waiting for is an increase of 0.25% when it comes to the interest rate. Keep in mind as well that this is going to be a crazy week, guys. On Friday, we have quadruple witching. So we're going to have a massive expiration of options, of indices, stocks, and future markets as well. So this week isn't going to be for the faint of heart. If we take a look at the sectors, we had three sectors closing today's trading session in the green: financials, healthcare, and consumer staples. However, guys, the defensive sectors, healthcare and consumer staples, only went up something like 0.20% in the case of healthcare, and in the case of consumer staples pretty much broke even. It went up 0.04%. So these two sectors didn't do much. The only sector that had a decent performance today was financials. It went up 0.64%. But check this out, guys. Today, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the financial sector was up almost 2.50%, and it gave up most of the early gains of today's trading session, and it closed up only 0.64%. The worst performing sector today, by a long shot, energy, going down 3.68% because of what I just told you about the resurgence in COVID-19 cases in China. And the most important sector of the markets, tech, absolutely crushed today, down 2.83%. The Amazons of the world, the Apples of the world, the Microsoft of the world, the Netflix of the world, and so forth, killed across the board. We had a nasty day today. that we can confirm taking a look at the advances and declines distribution. So today we had 5,306 stocks going down and we had 2,242 stocks going up. And check this out, guys. Today we had 1,296 stocks going down between 5 up to 10%. What a nasty day across the board. Now I want to show you guys the only trade that I closed in a successful way in today's trading session, Home Depot. So let me look up, let me pull up here the history of Home Depot. So last Friday, guys, I purchased the $320 call that expires on June 17. I paid $1,920 and I sold out of this call option today. And I was paid $2,130. I ended up making over here $210. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500. And in the case of the S&P, and as I said in the introduction of this video, the S&P goes down today 0.74% and it closed today's trading session at 4,173 points. I told you guys in the video that we posted last Thursday that the bulls have a clear work to carry out to do in the case of the S&P 500. They need to close one trading session below 4,160 points. That wasn't the case in today's trading session. So what happens if the bears can take on 4,160 points? The next foreseeable support is going to be 4,120 points. We are talking about a former area of support back from February 23rd. And if this support happens to be broken to the downside, which could be the case, why not? The next line of defense for the bulls is going to be 4,060 points. I am going to pull up here the 3-year chart. 4,060 points happens to be a previous area of support back from May of last year. So let me pull up here once again the 4-hour chart. As of now, guys, the S&P 500 is 14% of the highs. Well, in correction territory. And if we take a look at the RSI of the S&P, it is at 38 points. It is a bit low, but the S&P isn't in oversold territory yet. However, guys, I'm thinking that if we happen to see a quick visit down to either 4,114 points or maybe 4,060 points, the RSI of the S&P is going to be very low, in which case we are likely to see at least an intraday relief rally. When it comes to the bulls, the most important task that they need to carry out as soon as possible, guys, because the S&P isn't looking any good, would be reconquering 4222. We are talking about a former area of support back from February 23rd, and we are also talking about a former area of support back from July of last year. So, a very ugly looking chart. We closed today at a lower low, so everything looks pretty well for the bears. However, they have an unfinished business at 4,160 points. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ 100. And in the case of the NDX, this index went down today 1.92% and it closed today's trading session at 13,046 points. And let's talk about an ugly looking chart, guys. The NDX is, as of now, let me see, according to today's close, 23% of the highs, well, in a bear market. So we close today at a lower low, and this is the lowest close, guys, ever since this corrective process began back in early January. So what could be potentially happening here if we happen to see another leg down in the case of the NDX, which could be the case, guys? Let's face it, the RSI of the NDX is at 32 points, so we could still see another leg down. So if that were to happen, guys, I think that the next foreseeable support for the bulls is going to be, get this, 12,612 points. We are talking about a former area of support back from March of last year. So that would be the best case scenario for the bears in the upcoming days, or maybe tomorrow, who knows, if we happen to see another bloodbath. And when it comes to the most immediate task that the bulls of the NDX need to carry out, they need to take on at least, guys, 13,400 points, We are talking about a former area of support back from March 10th. And we are also talking, let me pull up once again here, the 3-year chart. We are also talking about a former area of support back from late May of last year. So a very ugly looking chart. What is going to happen first, guys? Drop me a comment down below and let me know. What do you think? Is it going to be 13,400 points, which would be a positive scenario for the bulls out there? Or is the NASDAQ 100 on its way down to 12,650 points? I hope not, guys. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the first stock of this video, Boeing. In the case of Boeing, the stock of this company went down today 0.40%, and it closed today's trading session at $175.52. And in the case of Boeing, guys, we had good news because I think that they were awarded a contract. Boeing secures order for 20 737 MAX planes from Caribbean airline Arajet. There you go. This is good news. So they were ordered how many planes? I don't have the exact number over here. Let's see the airline, Boeing Monday, the new Caribbean airline Arajet has ordered 20 of its 737 MAX aircraft. So they were ordered 20 aircrafts. Good news. Every single plane that Boeing manufactures isn't cheap, obviously. So this is good news. And let's talk about decimated stocks over here, guys. So Boeing is, I'm not going to talk about the previous all-time high before the pandemic, but when it comes to the most recent high of Boeing, this stock is 40% down, guys, from the high that Boeing hit back on March of last year. So I'm thinking, guys, that and despite the fact that this is a very ugly looking chart, but if I happen to see consolidation in the case of Boeing slightly above $173, we are talking about a former area of support back from November of 2020. Then this might be a sign that the bulls might be gathering momentum, guys, in order to make a push higher in order to fill the next gap up to $186. $186 happens to be a previous area of support back from late January and also back from mid-December that coincides with the 50 SMA and the 4-hour chart. So if we were able to take a trade from, let's say, $174, 173 bucks up to $186, we are looking at a 6% profit. The RSI of Boeing is at 43 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint, and keep in mind that this is a very important member of the inflation trade of the industrial sector. And the industrial sector might be a beneficiary of a new interest rate hike cycles because we are talking about the inflation trade. So watch out for Boeing, and needless to say, guys, we have a very high inflation across the board here in the US. So watch out for Boeing consolidating slightly above $173. And the second stock of this video is going to be Nvidia, guys. And in the case of Nvidia, let's talk about another decimated stock. Nvidia goes down today 3.48%, and it closed today's trading session at $213.30. And obviously, guys, ugly looking chart below all the moving averages. However, I'm thinking that Nvidia might run into buyers at $208. $208 is a previous area of support back from March 8th. It also acted as support back in late February and also back in late January. We are also talking, mind you, about a previous area of resistance back from July of last year. So the RSI of Nvidia is at 37 points, a bit low already. So we can make the case that if Nvidia happens to pay a quick visit down to $208, its RSI is going to be way lower. And if that were the case, maybe the bulls can find support at a previous area of support and resistance, and then they can bounce back up. And mind you, if this support of $208 happens to be broken to the downside, we have a huge leg down, guys, down to $195. So if I happen to start this trade on Nvidia, I am going to be placing a very tight stop loss. However, from $208, guys, up to $231 bucks, we are talking about a former area of resistance back from early September of last year, we are talking about a 10% profit trade. So I am going to be keeping a close watch on Nvidia, potentially paying a visit down to $208, finding a good support over there, and then bouncing back up. The third stock of this video is going to be Alibaba. Oh boy. Check this out, guys. Baba goes down today 10%, and it closed today's trading session at $77.76. And I got a lot of questions today. What's the next support for Baba? And mind you, guys, Baba is as of now below its IPO price. Check this out. Baba opened or started trading in the US stock market back in September of 2024 at $99, according to this chart that I have over here of Thinkorswim. So Baba is already below its IPO price. And what would be the worst case scenario? I'm thinking, guys, that we have two possible supports over here in the case Baba keeps on dropping. The first one, $74. Baba closed today at $77, so we're getting closer to that support. $74 happens to be a previous area of support back from 2016. And if this support happens to be broken to the downside, $58 acted as support back on February of 2016, and it also did it back on September of 2015. So check this out, guys. We are seeing, in the case of Baba, prices that we haven't seen in almost 7 years, 6 or 7 years. So the valuation of Baba is getting very attractive over here. I know the China FUD, and according to most people out there, the Chinese stocks are going to be delisted from the US markets and stuff like that. I don't think that is going to happen. I think that the US have a lot of economic interest in China. So what happens if we delist Chinese stocks from the US markets, and if the Chinese retaliate? Is Apple willing to leave China? Is Microsoft willing to leave China? Is Tesla willing to leave China? Not a chance, guys. So at the end of the day, I think that the Chinese and the US are going to find, the Chinese and the Americans are going to find common ground. And I don't know, guys. Maybe Baba at $58. I think that I would be willing in order to pick up some leaps. And if I happen to lose that money, it is what it is. But if that trade happens to work, $60, $58, I think that are very interesting prices when it comes to Baba. Tesla is going to be the very last stock of this video. You guys know that I am a long-term investor in Tesla, and I'm going to pull up here the 4-hour chart. And Tesla goes down today 3.64%, and it closed today's trading session at $766. Keep in mind, guys, that Tesla is actually having a party at the Gigafactory in Austin. That is going to be on April 4th, April 6th, I think. So both new Gigafactories, the Berlin one and the Texas one, are going to start to ramp up production anytime soon. So if I happen to see Tesla paying a visit down to $694, we are talking about a former area of support back from late February, and also a previous area of resistance back from July of last year. I think that I'm going to be tempted, guys, in order to start a new long-term position in Tesla. By the way, let me show you my current long-term position in Tesla, guys. I mean, this is one of I have two long-term positions in Tesla, so this is my first, my main long-term position in Tesla. I own 105 shares at an average cost of $263. I have an unrealized gain over here of $52,000. However, I don't want to average up. I don't want to dollar cost average over here because I don't want to increase my average cost. But at $700, guys, I think that I am going to be tempted in order to start a new long-term position in Tesla. When it comes to taking a trade, watch out for a breakout from $767, guys. $767, $67 is a previous area of resistance back from September of last year. If Tesla happens, or if the bulls of Tesla can take on $767 on good volume and momentum, they can easily, guys, in no time, fill the next gap up to $793. We are talking about a former area of resistance back from September and October of last year. So if we were able to take a quick trade with Tesla, if the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P happen to have someday another green day, who knows? So from $767 up to $795, we are talking about a 3.5% profit. And mind you guys, if I happen to be able to open a new long-term position in Tesla at $695, we are talking about a 45% discount from all-time high. That's a very sweet discount when it comes to Tesla, my Tesla. And with Tesla, I am going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do things differently because we talk about the markets in 2 different languages, English and Spanish. So you can pick your preferred language, but most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs, just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.